Last year, you made a powerful statement saying the reason people are watching women's basketball is not just because of one player, but because of you too. A year later, do you feel like you're
Next
getting
question. Yeah, we'll move on. Thank you.
Welcome back, basketball fans. Today we're diving into a story that's been buzzing across sports media. Angel Reese humiliated on live TV by Chicago Sky reporter. She's no Caitlin Clark.
Keep in mind, whoever asked this, and there's people clowning the person that asked this, it was her statement going during the basketball season from last year, and the person's asking for her current feelings on said statement, her own statement.
Sounds dramatic, right? But is there more to this than clickbait headlines? Let's break it down with a deep dive into the facts, the context, and the bigger picture. Buckle up, because this is about to get real. First, let's talk about Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. These two are not just WNBA stars, they're cultural phenomena. Their rivalry traces back to the 2023 NCAA Championship, where Reese's LSU Tigers defeated Clark's Iowa Hawkeyes. That game was iconic, not just for the win, but for Reese's now famous ring finger gesture toward Clark, a moment that sparked endless debate. Fast forward to 2024, both players entered the WNBA, Clark as the #1 pick, first overall pick for the Indiana Fever, Reese as the #1, 7th pick for the Chicago Sky.
That's from a circus. That was a clown show statement to have made about watching for us and blah, 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 blah.
Both had stellar rookie seasons, with Clark setting records for points and assists, and Reese dominating rebounds with a WNBA record 15 consecutive double-doubles. But their success has been overshadowed by a media narrative pitting them against each other. Why? Let's explore. The media loves a good rivalry. Magic Johnson himself compared Clark and Reese.
We're going to find out very quickly who amongst the Chicago Sky fans are really and truly basketball fans, or are they Angel Reese, the content creator fans? Because, and you got some of those folks obviously tuning in for basketball, but is it because of Angel Reese or for the best interest of the Chicago Sky team?
Reese to his legendary battles with Larry Bird, saying they're selling out arenas and increasing viewership. And it's true. Games between the Fever and Sky in 2024 drew some of the highest WNBA viewership in over 2 decades. But this rivalry isn't just about basketball.
Hey. Well, all right. It is a different year, and it is the same haters, but I think you're calling yourself out, Mama.
It's about how the media frames these two women, often reducing their accomplishments to a zero-sum game. So when headlines scream about Reese being humiliated over a Caitlin Clark comparison,
and said next question, so she doesn't want to take responsibility for her own word.
We need to dig deeper. The incident in question happened during the Chicago Sky's preseason media day on May 13th, 2025 at Intentional Sports in North Austin. A reporter started to ask Reese about a comment she made last season, where she passionately argued that the WNBA's surging popularity wasn't just due to Caitlin Clark, but also because of her own star power. Reese had said, "I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we're watching women's basketball is not just because of one person, it's because of me too."
Angel Reese voluntarily went on a quote, they're watching for me too, and I want y'all to realize that rant, because she wanted that attention. She created the drama, asking her about her comment as we enter a new season is perfectly normal and not stirring things up. Absolutely.
Bold, confident, and classic Angel Reese. But before the reporter could finish the question, Reese shut it down with a sharp next question. Social media exploded. Some called it Reese.
And here we go again. 1.3 million people tuned in on Sunday afternoon to see Caitlin Clark return to Iowa as a professional and start raining in three-pointers from ridiculous distance.
Being defensive, others saw it as her taking control of the narrative. Posts on X amplified the moment, with one user, CHGoSky, tweeting, "Angel Reese shuts down Caitlin Clark question." But others framed it as Reese dodging accountability, with headlines claiming she was humiliated or exposed as no Caitlin Clark. So was this really humiliation, or was Reese just refusing to play into a tired media trap? Let's unpack this. The reporter reporter's question wasn't inherently malicious, but it was revisiting a sensitive topic. Last season, Reese faced criticism for her comments about the WNBA's growth, with some accusing her of throwing shade at
that because look where women's basketball is. People are talking about women's basketball that you never would think that we'd be talking about women's basketball. People are pulling up to games. We got celebrities coming to games, sold out arenas, like just because of one single game. And just looking at that, like, I'll take that role. I'll take the bad guy role, and I'll continue to take that on and be that for my teammates. And if I want to be that, and I know I'll go down in history, I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me too, and I want y'all to...
At Clark. In reality, Reese was highlighting a broader truth. The WNBA's rise is a collective effort. Players like Aja Wilson, Sabrina Ionescu, and Reese herself have drawn massive audiences. Yet the media often centers Clark, who's been dubbed a household name by ESPN's Monica McNutt and even spotted with Taylor Swift. Clark's Rookie of the Year wins 66 out of 67 votes to Reese's 1, further fueled the narrative that she's the WNBA.
So, people are watching, not just because of one person. All right, but they're watching because of Me Too. Me Too. They're playing at LSU. There are people right now, her fans. You know what? Her social
NBA's golden child. Now don't get me wrong, Clark's stats are incredible. She averaged 20.5 points and 10 assists against the Sky last season. But Reese was no slouch, leading the league in rebounds and earning all-star honors. Comparing them is like comparing apples and oranges. They play different positions.
Here with you guys today, Angel Reese. Girl, you're my angel, you're my darling. Folks, the Chicago Sky Game 1 of the preseason was underway last night. Angel Reese looked pretty good, but we're gonna get into that momentarily. On the negative side, Angel Reese fans, LSU fans, all of you who tell us, oh my God, what a big...
Bring different strengths. So why does the media keep framing Reese as less than Clark? Part of it is the rivalry narrative, which sells clicks. But there's also a deeper issue, the tendency to pit women, especially women of color like Reese, against a singular heroine figure. Reese herself called out this villain tag last year, saying, "It's a crazy job. This isn't just about one press conference. It's about how the media shapes perceptions." Take the 2024 season, when Sky guard Chennedy Carter committed a flagrant foul on Clark, and Reese was seen reacting enthusiastically from the bench. The backlash was swift, with some fans accusing Reese of unsportsmanlike behavior. But both Reese and Clark have repeatedly said there's no bad blood. Clark herself told reporters, "This so-called rivalry feels like something created by the media and fans." Yet headlines keep stoking the fire, like when Reese's mom, Angel Webb Reese, posted on X about celebrating championship banners over attendance, a clear jab at Clark's fan base after a low-attendance Sky preseason game. The data tells a different story. The Sky's 2024 season record was 13-27, missing the playoffs, while the Fever went 20-20 and made the postseason. But Reese's impact was undeniable. She set a WNBA single-season record for offensive rebounds. Meanwhile, Clark's Fever games drew bigger crowds, partly due to her massive Iowa fan base. Does that make Clark better? No. It means they're different players with different markets. The humiliation narrative falls apart when you realize Reese wasn't trying to be Clark, she was being herself. As we head into the 2025 WNBA season, starting tomorrow, May 17th, with a Fever Sky matchup, let's shift the focus. Reese is stepping into a new role, with the Sky's new coach, Tyler Marsh, planning to use her as a playmaker, not just a traditional forward. She showcased this in a preseason game against the Lynx, dishing out 5 assists in 25 minutes. Clark, meanwhile, is the betting favorite for MVP, coming off a season where she transformed the Fever into a playoff team. Both are poised for breakout years, and their rivalry will headline the WNBA's first ever Rivals Week in August. The real story isn't about humiliation or who's better. It's about two young women elevating the WNBA to new heights. Reese's shutdown of that reporter wasn't a moment of weakness. It was a power move, a refusal to let the media define her. And Clark, she's thriving under pressure, proving her doubters wrong. Together, they're not just rivals, they're trailblazers. So let's stop with the clickbait and start celebrating their greatness. Hit the like button, don't forget to subscribe.